Over the last few hours, headlines have exploded after Trump signed a new executive action. And suddenly, everyone is asking the same question. Are $2,000 payments coming in January? If you're watching this right now, chances are you're feeling it. Higher grocery bills, rising rent, medical costs, and for many on Social Security or fixed income, every dollar already has a job. So when you hear executive action and $2,000, your attention snaps right to it. That's exactly why you need to slow down and listen carefully, because what's being shared online is only part of the story. Some of it is hopeful, some of it is exaggerated, and some leaves out the most important details that determine whether real money ever reaches you. Before you get too excited or too discouraged, stay with me. I'm going to break down what just happened, why it matters right now, and what could realistically come next. And what happens next may surprise you. Let's slow this down because this is where the headlines stop helping and start confusing. Yes, Trump signed an executive action. Yes, it's real. And yes, it was done deliberately, not randomly. But here's the truth. An executive action is not a law. It does not automatically send money to your bank account. It does not override Congress. It does not guarantee stimulus checks just because a number is trending online. So what actually happened? This executive action directs federal agencies to immediately review existing economic relief authorities already on the books. It tells agencies like the Treasury Department, Social Security Administration, and Health and Human Services to look for funding flexibility, emergency provisions, and underused programs that could be expanded quickly if economic conditions continue to worsen. In plain English, find out what tools we already have and be ready to use them. That may not sound dramatic, but it's important. When the government wants to move fast, it rarely starts from zero. It looks for legal shortcuts, existing programs, emergency powers that weren't fully used, and funds that were approved but never fully distributed. And that's exactly what this action is about. Why now? Because the pressure is building again. Inflation may not dominate headlines like before, but it never fully went away. Food prices are still high, housing costs continue climbing, utilities are rising, healthcare expenses are squeezing retirees, and many Americans feel like promised relief quietly disappeared. This executive action is a response to that reality. It's also about political timing. January matters. The new year resets budgets. Agencies report new projections. Economic data from late fall and early winter shapes policy for the rest of the year. Signing this action now sends a message. It tells agencies to prepare. It tells lawmakers this issue isn't going away. And it tells voters that leadership is acknowledging the strain people are under. But here's where the confusion starts. People hear executive action and think checks. They remember past stimulus rounds. They remember deposits hitting fast. They assume the same is happening again. That assumption is dangerous. Those past payments were approved by Congress. They went through votes. They had dedicated funding. This is different. An executive action can speed up reviews. It can expand eligibility inside existing programs. It can redirect certain funds. But it cannot create a brand new nationwide $2,000 payment program by itself. So where did the $2,000 number come from? It's been discussed in past relief proposals. It's used in models for household stability. It's floated in negotiations. And emotionally, it resonates. Because for many, $2,000 means catching up instead of falling behind. But discussion is not approval. And intention is not execution. Another part most people won't tell you. This executive action also legally protects the government by ordering reviews. Officials can later say they acted responsibly, that they explored options, that they prepared even if no payments happen. That's not a conspiracy. That's how government works. Now let's talk about timing. January is very close, but agencies don't move overnight. Even accelerated reviews take weeks. Legal authority must be confirmed, funding sources verified, distribution systems prepared. This moment is a starting point, not a finish line. It opens doors, creates pathways, and speeds up normally slow processes. But it does not complete the journey for you. And before anyone celebrates or panics, understand this. What happens next depends on decisions that haven't been made yet. Decisions inside agencies, in Congress, and based on economic data still being reviewed. Those decisions determine whether this turns into real money, targeted relief, future benefit changes, or nothing at all. Now, this is where it becomes personal. If you're on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or living on a fixed income, this hits differently. Every price increase matters. Every bill hurts more. And when you hear $2,000, it's not politics, it's survival. Let's talk honestly about impact. If any money were to come from this executive action, it likely wouldn't look like a surprise check mailed to everyone. That's critical to understand. The most realistic scenarios, if anything moves forward, would involve targeted relief, not blanket payments. That means low-income households, seniors, people on federal benefits would be prioritized because those systems already exist and can be adjusted quickly. That's why Social Security recipients are watching this so closely. If agencies are told to adjust existing programs, that's where changes could show up first. Not as new stimulus, but as supplemental payments, temporary boosts, accelerated benefit adjustments. Now here's the reality check. Nothing like that has been approved yet. No guidance issued, no eligibility rules published, no payment dates announced. Anyone claiming otherwise is guessing or exaggerating. But here's what could still happen. Even without direct payments, this executive action could lead to cost of living adjustments, emergency assistance, energy relief, healthcare subsidies, rent and utility support tied to federal funds. These don't make headlines, but they quietly put money back in your pocket or stop it from leaving. Now let's address January again. January doesn't mean checks arrive. It means budget cycles begin. Economic data is reviewed. Policy decisions are shaped. So if you see January mentioned, know it's a decision window, not a payday. Here's what to watch for. Official statements from the Treasury updates from Social Security language around supplemental relief or temporary support, budget talks mentioning inflation or emergency response. Those are real signals, not viral thumbnails or anonymous rumors. And here's something few mention. Even if nothing happens now, this review still matters. Once complete, the data will be used in future proposals. It could shape relief in 2025. So this executive action matters, even if nothing hits your account this week. Let me say this clearly. You do not need to take action right now. You do not need to apply for anything new today. You do not need to give anyone your information. Anyone asking for that is not legitimate. The smartest move now is awareness, not urgency. Stay informed, trust official sources, know the difference between preparation and promises. Relief discussions move slowly. They evolve. They sometimes arrive quietly, without hype. So take a breath. This isn't over, and you're not being left behind. Now let's pull it all together. Here's what we know for sure. An executive action was signed. Agencies are reviewing existing relief tools. Economic strain is being officially acknowledged. What we do not have, an approved $2,000 payment, confirmed eligibility rules, confirmed payment dates, any guarantee of funds arriving. That honesty matters because false hope creates panic and disappointment, and you deserve better, most realistic expectations. If anything comes, it may be targeted relief, temporary assistance, adjusted benefits, support for energy, healthcare, or rising costs, and it may take time. Government moves slowly, but it leaves a paper trail. And those official updates are what we'll watch closely, not rumors. When you know what's real, you stay grounded. You avoid scams. You remain in control of your finances. If you're feeling anxious, hopeful, or skeptical, that's okay. You're not alone. Millions are watching the same headlines and asking the same questions. And no matter what comes next, you'll be ready.